Yeah, so we're gonna start today's show with a friend of mine who was a master sergeant in the Air Force for 21 years. An incredible span of service and keeping us all safe here. And the reason that we're having him on, his name is Bill Duffy. He's the president of the Philadelphia Flyers Warriors hockey program. He's also the USA Hockey national rep for Warrior hockey. Now, I don't necessarily want to go into what Warrior hockey is, because I'd rather bring Bill in and let him talk about what Warrior hockey is. But they have their national championships this weekend. It's in North Jersey. And so I just wanted to have him on for 5 minutes just to talk a little bit about Warrior hockey, because it's such a great intersection of veterans and the NHL, because the NHL is heavily involved with the program, especially in Philadelphia. So, Vic, why don't you bring in Duff and we'll chat with my pal Duff this morning a little bit. What's going on, man? How are you?
Good morning. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
We're all good.
We're excited to have you on. I know you're at the rink right now, but Duff, if you could just start and explain to everyone a little bit, like, what is Warrior hockey? What is the basis around it? And what are the national championships that you have going on this weekend in Wayne, New Jersey?
Yeah, so Warrior hockey was started about 11 years ago. It started as one team, and it was originally the USA Warriors, and it was disabled veterans that were looking for an outlet after they got out of the military, injured, retired, or just looking for an outlet to get around like-minded individuals. And it has exploded into, I believe, 37 teams throughout the U.S. now. Wow. Some NHL affiliated, some not, because of their geographical location. But it's become the largest disabled hockey discipline in USA hockey in a short amount of time, and it's a great program for all that participate, because it gets veterans together, and they can do stuff that they were missing when they were in the military, and make new friends and talk about stuff that nobody else would understand.
Duff, I hope this isn't a dumb question, but
it probably is, but go ahead and ask anyway.
But do people get like recruited to certain teams for this? Because I imagine, it's taken very seriously, right? It's a very competitive league. You guys are having nationals. Are there players who move? You said 37 teams. Do they move to certain areas to play for a team? I can't imagine it's, something that you just pick up and do, right? It's pretty competitive.
Well, actually, it's a good question, but to answer your question, no. It's usually individuals that are in that geographical location where there's a Warrior program, and we take guys and girls that never even played before.
Okay.
And teach them how to play. We have 4 teams of multiple skill levels, elite all the way down to tier 4, which is like you're learning to play, or people that have only played for a few years. And
awesome.
It doesn't matter to us. We'll take you. If you're a veteran and you want to be a part of the program, you go through the recruiting process, which is you fill out the paperwork, show that you're honorable, have an honorable discharge, minimum of 10% disability. And then one of our guys, Sean Sweeney, who's the head of recruiting, he does all the legwork on that and gets guys out on and girls out on the ice.
So not a dumb question.
Nope.
Cool.
Good job, Johnny. You're one for me today. And look, and I can tell you this, like, the tier 1 team, which is the highest level of the Flyers Warriors program, which Duff is the president of, there's a couple of players from that team that played Division 1. We've got a guy who played at West Point. There's a guy on our team, from the Washington, D.C. area who probably could have played Division 1 hockey, but he went and did his military service instead. So it's very competitive, Johnny. I mean, these guys put a lot of time and effort in. There's film. They travel together. They've got matching bets.
I've seen the gear. Yeah, the gear's legit.
Yeah, I mean, look, Spittin' Chicklets has gotten pretty involved over the years doing stuff with these guys, and I've gotten a chance to see it firsthand. A bunch of former Flyers are involved with the program. So it's an incredible program, Duff. You do a great job running the Philly team. Obviously, I'm involved with that with you pretty heavily. and obviously good luck this weekend. It kills me that I can't be there with you guys, obviously, here at the Frozen Four. But I do want to pivot a little bit and talk a little NHL with you, Duff, because you've been an e-bug before in the NHL.
Oh, shit.
You were a Flyers e-bug for a while. Duff also has played in alumni games for the Flyers. He's kind of the bullpen guy. If they can't get Bush to, maybe, or some of the other guys, they go to Duff. And I know you've had some great experience. You stopped John LeClaire on a breakaway. I've seen the video. I've seen the proof. But,
it was Hartnell. It was Hartnell.
Oh, it's Hartnell. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's going on with goaltending in Philadelphia right now, Duff? I feel like you're close to maybe playing for the real club the last couple of games of the season right now.
Honestly, I think you think about what happened with Carter having to take a leave of absence and Sam Erson essentially being thrown into the fire. You had two stable guys that were able to split time evenly. And then I just think Sam was overworked. I think he's just gassed at the end of the year. And then Fedotov coming in, you can see he's uncomfortable out there. You can tell he's trying to still get used to the NHL atmosphere and the different pace of the game, the size of the rink. I mean, he's always messing. He's still getting used to his gear from being at the practices and watching him. He's just. I just don't think he's ready for it yet. And and poor Sam, I mean, he's just been put in a situation that he didn't expect to be the main guy.
Mm-hmm. Duff, we're getting a lot of comments in the chat, people thanking you for your service, and people, happy that you're here. Just wanted to, let you know that there are a lot of people right now listening that are, very thankful that you're on here.
Johnny, before you ask your question, Duff, are you okay with us putting your email in the chat? Because there are some people who, like, we have one of our listeners, New York Ranger Marine, who said he'd love to join, but there's no teams near him. And I know there are other teams in the metropolitan area of Jersey and New York and stuff like that. Are you cool if we put your email in the chat so they could reach out to you and then maybe you could direct them?
Yeah, that's no problem. Absolutely.
Okay,
that's
cool.
Part of my job at USA Hockey to help people that are trying to join programs. So
okay. So Vic, maybe you could put that in the chat. And if there are any veterans listening or watching and they want to reach out to Duff, they have an opportunity to. Sorry to cut you off.
Good call.
For once, I'm sorry to cut you off, Johnny. So now you can proceed with your question.
And for once, I'm happy to shut up and let you talk. But Duff, just, sticking with that theme of the Flyers and kind of their struggles. I asked this, a couple weeks ago when they were in town playing the Rangers, but I'm going to ask this probably to Tortorella on Thursday. With the way the season is ending right now, I know Torts had, a lot of positive things to say in his post-game press conference last night, and I know a lot of us were expecting the opposite. When you look back on this season now, is it more of a disappointment or is it still a big step in what they're trying to build there? But knowing that they let this playoff opportunity slip away, it's got to be a little bit of, damn, boys, we had one here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it was when they started the season where they had like a 3% chance of making the playoffs.
Probably less.
It was something crazy like that. And to be in the position they're in, it's a short-term disappointment in the long run. Because ultimately, before the past 2 weeks, it's been a great season. Everybody's been excited being at the arena and seeing all the fans and even the employees. Like, it's a whole new atmosphere. We work hand in hand with Flyers Charities, the community relations team, and their whole mentality has been totally different. Like, it's been a breath of fresh air for the whole organization as a whole with Danny and Keith Jones and Tortorella. I mean, Torts is old school. Like, people get upset when he does stuff, but the guy's been around forever. He's probably a Hall of Fame coach. Like, he's won Stanley Cups. He's been on multiple teams, and it's a short-term disappointment. But at the end of the day, I think it's a success because nobody expected them to be who they were this year.
Yeah.
I
think that's a very fair way. It's a very level-headed way. I think, Duff, because you're so close to the program, you've got so many good ties to the organization. I know the players there's a lot of crossover between the Flyers players and the Flyers Warriors players. It's a pretty cool bond because I think the Flyers guys love getting involved with the Warriors. So I think that's a very level-headed way to look at it, Duffy. I don't know how many fans are able to be as level-headed as you are. I know we have some guys on our team that certainly aren't that level-headed about it. So, look, I want to wish you luck this weekend. I hope the event is wildly successful. Make sure we kick Colorado's ass, please. There's no second place for Philadelphia this year. I'll have Live Barn on probably between the benches while I'm working, doing the national championship game. I'll have to have Live Barn on so I can be watching our game. So thanks for coming on. Good luck. And if any people have questions, we'll definitely point them in your direction. All right.
That sounds good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on this morning.
What's up, hockey fans? If you enjoyed that video, then you need to be hitting the subscribe button right here at Daily Faceoff. Exclusive interviews and analysis from our hockey insider Frank Saravalli, fantasy updates from Brock Sagan, and a daily live show at noon Eastern Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the fantastic content, so hit that subscribe button.